What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. I thought there would be some value in seeing this circus that went on with these sellout ass, shackle wearing slaves. When I did the video about it, I was disgusted and all of that. And I'm even more disgusted because something else I need to share with you is this is August. And whether you know it or not, and I'm here to inform you, that exactly 1 year from now, it will be the 400th anniversary since the landing of the first slave ship at Jamestown, Virginia in 1619. Next year, August, represents 400 years. Exactly. And I was struck by that. And I have a lot of homework for you guys in this video. So get your stuff to write with and, whatever you need to do, because there's some things that you're going to need to follow up on. And God willing, later today, Sunday, we will have, I think I'd like to do probably a Skype live stream, so that we can have discussion on this and then just live stream it. And so what brought me to this, and I'm merging the two topics, is obviously because of this, but also I have a video in the description box down below. I'll show you. This fat beast, that is Pastor John Gray. He's a man of God. I think I just lost a tooth. Where's my punch? Whatever we want to say about Donna Lemon and her Christian Louboutin heels, every once and again he gets it right. And he got it right on this. He made this fat bitch squirm. And I loved it, because I always tell you, we don't care what the source, we accept truth wherever it materializes, and righteousness wherever it peeks its head. So throw out Donna Lemon. Throw her out. Throw her out. She's not important. But she's significant in this because she's the one giving the interview. And and you don't need to watch the whole video. It's only 9 minutes, because the rest of it I didn't even watch. I don't know what this is. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't care. All right, fine. It was just about this dude. All right. And one thing that Don Lemon says to him is, he goes, I was talking to somebody that I really respect and trust. He's a man of God and da 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 da. He said, but people who gave you the Bible but didn't want you to read. He goes, do you understand what I'm telling you? He said, because, religion has been used to keep you on the plantation and da 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 da. Anyways, you need to watch this. You need to. You need to. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. And so that will be a part of the live discussion. All right. Along with this whole, fake ass Christian pastor debacle disaster. All right. You're also going to watch this video. This is in the description box down below. You must do this homework, everybody. This is essential. This guy's name is Akala, and there's a whole background on him, and we'll get into that in the live event on Sunday. All right. But the thing is the level of knowledge that he's bringing to really line up our history from A to Z is something that every one of us needs to watch and hear. Why? Because I found a kinship with him as well. He's British, or what do they call it? Caribbean British or something. He's British, damn it. All right, fine. And But I find a kinship with him because, like myself, he's someone who's able to take a complex subject with many moving parts and present it in a way that is easy for even a 5-year-old to understand it. It is brilliant. You cannot talk to me ever again in life if you don't watch that video. It's that serious. It's that serious. And like I said, we're going to have discussion on that. And I probably get a little bit more into this after we see this video that we're going to see now and we walk through it forensically. All right, but I want you to be aware of this, you guys. You must do your homework. You see, and I don't want you to ever think of this as a YouTube channel. I am the Jedi, and what I seek to do on Earth is to fulfill my mission and reason why God sent me to Earth. That is my purpose in life. That is my purpose. And so, while I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, you probably shouldn't touch me. And I'm not the smartest guy on the planet, but don't challenge me. What I'm here to do is to share any and all of what the divine has given me through my skills, my talents, my understanding, all those things, to try to pluck from obscurity the mind that is not as sharp as mine, the one that is not as sophisticated, who's not awake, but has a willing heart. Maybe I can be of some influence to them, to the point of liberation, freedom, and action for our people. And so when you come to this channel, I need you to approach this as a student coming to class. This is a place of gathering for African people to share, discover knowledge for the purpose of inspiring our souls and our beings to action in our personal life and in the society as individuals and as a group. This is my mission. Do you understand me? I'm not a spectator sport. I'm not here for your entertainment. I'm not here for popularity. I'm not here for money. I'm not here for self-aggrandizement. I'm not here for bragging rights. I'm not here as a hobby. Since I was very young on the earth, I've always been very serious about every foot that I put in front of the other one. Nothing is a joke with me. Know this. So when I say to you that I need you to go and do this homework, I'm very serious, because I know the value that it is to your life. This speech alone ups your sense of pride quotient, your knowledge of self quotient. Do you understand? Your general historical knowledge quotient, your worldview quotient, and your understanding a little bit more how and where you fit in the space of time, history, existence, and the universe. You must watch this video. You must. You must. You must. And I am so excited for you to see it, and I'm so excited for us to have discussion about it. We need that. All right? Now, both of those will be in the description box down below. The Fat Beast, being interviewed by Donna Lemon, and then also this speech by this dude named Akala. And like I say, I'm looking to fill up our Skype today, everybody. I think you can have up to 20 people actually in the actual room and all that stuff. So I'm looking for people to definitely do your homework and come and get in on the Skype discussion, and we're going to live stream it across the planet. That's what we're doing. Now, and we'll be discussing that and this. All right? Now, this is the Fat Beast sitting to the left. All right? And then the fake ass king bitch right here. I thought the value of going through this was not only for us to be a fly in the room, But whereas we read the article and we hashed over it and all that stuff, now it's an opportunity for us to go through it forensically, to look at mood, to look at reaction, to look at body language, discovering motives, discovering feelings. Do you understand what I'm saying? And really trying to see through the veneer and the facade that is these fake ass Christians. So let us begin.
Well, thank you very much. It's my great honor to be here today with some of the leading pastors and faith leaders from across our nation. These are great people.
He couldn't say that without reading it. It's just an intro. But Obama, a brilliant speaker and brilliant writer, well, Obama's looking, he has to have teleprompter because he does these things, and I'm over it. Let us go on.
Most of whom I know, and
most of whom I know, but you're reading.
Administration is open 100%, and we have been.
Look at what is her damn name? Alvita or some bullshit that I hate. Oh my God. All right, I'm trying to keep my temperature low through this, everybody. But look at the fat beast over here. You see, this is your typical I'm feeling important. And it always amazes me that they can quote every damn thing in the Bible that they don't understand, but they never get to the part of gluttony. I don't understand the disconnect. Let us go on.
Tremendous support, and I appreciate you all being here today. In case you don't know, that's called the media. Wonderful people. I like you better. I'm very happy to welcome.
Look, they're so jovial, and listen. If they were there for a mission, if I'm there for a mission, I'm sitting there with a fucking poker face. Nothing is funny to me. Nothing is amusing. Nothing is whimsical. Nothing. I would have a face on that says, I am serious and I'm not here about games. But no. That's the reaction of the lion heart. You see, we're looking at the weak-ass, spineless-ass black Christian. Let us proceed.
These great leaders, including my good friends, Pastor Paula White, Bishop Harry Jackson, Dr. Alvita King.
Alvita.
Thank you for being here.
That's the bitch name.
Daryl Scott, who's been with me from, I think before I even announced. He was saying, you should run. Thank you, Daryl.
She's so giddy, she can't even.
The progress we've made, and it's been tremendous, and the next steps we must take to continue bringing opportunity and safety to all of our citizens. Throughout our history, America's churches and religious leaders have called for change and have inspired us to care for and bring hope back to those in need. So many people in need. These are the people that they do a job, and it's really largely unrecognized, which is
look, and he hasn't stopped looking at him. He only blinks. He's so enamored with this white devil, he can't even not look at him. And the same with her fake ass.
Something they don't even care about, frankly. They just want to take care of people.
Look.
But the people realize it, and they love you. They love you very much. You know that. By cutting taxes, reducing regulation, increasing American energy, and promoting American manufacturing, a situation where, as you remember, the other side of the equation said people don't want to do manufacturing.
He's still looking at him. Does anybody remember like Beavis and Butthead from the 1990s? And Beavis was always looking at fucking Butthead. Like, that's all he did. Like, that's how they drew him. He was always looking at him. This is the same thing.
Anymore. I said, well, they don't want to make things. Well, it turns out we're doing record business in manufacturing. We've increased and created 3.7 million more jobs since Election Day. African American and Hispanic unemployment rates have reached the lowest levels in recorded history, meaning history. the lowest levels ever, African American and
Thanks to Obama.
Hispanic, Asian also, women also, 66 years. We've launched a bold workforce training initiative. So far, over 100 companies and associations have already pledged to train and retrain over 4 million Americans. So important because we have companies once again coming back into our country and they want to employ people. So we're training and working with these people and we're getting companies to do the same. It's been a very beautiful thing. We fought hard to include opportunity zones in our tax bill, which, as you know, we have. This tax incentive will bring badly needed investment into distressed communities, communities with high unemployment, communities where it's really tough to get a job. And already we're seeing what's happening. We're seeing the benefits. Our focus on opportunity for every citizen includes helping former prisoners. These citizens re-entering society have had a tough time. We want them to get jobs so they don't have to return to a life of crime and go back in to the same prison where they just got out. I mean, this is
Look at our
a
bitch
tremendous
ass.
problem, and the best thing we could do actually is exactly what we're doing, creating an environment where the country is doing so well. And prisoners have never, ever, even close, done better than they've done now when they get out, because they're getting jobs. And the reason it's hard to get people because we're pretty well filled up. So for the first time, probably, I think I could say ever, they're getting a break. And I have to tell you, the people that are hiring prisoners, and you've heard me say it, they're loving them. And I don't mean in every case, but in a big percentage of cases, they're loving them. And these are people that are doing really an incredible job. But a lot of people didn't want to do it. They didn't want to hire prisoners. They're doing it. I have one man, a friend of mine, he's now up to number 10. And I don't say he loved all 10, but he likes 7 of them a lot. In fact, he said 6 of them are better than anybody else he has.
And think about that whole communication right there. Listen, just because somebody was incarcerated doesn't mean they're a different alien or some fucking being from another planet. Hear how he's talking about people that have been incarcerated. Hear that now in that context and see how slatheringly fucking racist this is. You know, as if, somebody got a new dog or they got a bird or something. You understand what I'm telling you? Listen with clarity now.
Tremendous problem, and the best thing we could do actually is exactly what we're doing, creating an environment where the country is doing so well. And prisoners have never, ever, even close, done better than they've done now when they get out, because they're getting jobs. And the reason it's
Listen to her
hard to
bitch
get
ass.
people
Look at her bitch
because
ass.
pretty well.
Everything Massa say, he right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Die off the earth, bitch. Die.
For the first time, probably, I think I could say ever, they're getting a break. And I have to tell you, the people that are hiring prisoners.
The people that are hiring prisoners, listen to this cadence now.
And you've heard me say it, they're loving them.
Like my next door neighbor just got a Shih Tzu and they're loving them. These are human beings. And by the way, as someone who was a corrections officer for 3.5 years, I can testify to you that 99% of people that are in goddamn prison are just regular goddamn people. Period. The end. People you would just hang out with and chill. But hear this.
And I don't mean in every case, but in a big percentage of cases, they're loving them. And these are people that are doing really an incredible job. But a lot of people didn't want to do it. They didn't want to hire prisoners. They're doing it. I have one man, a friend of mine.
I have one friend of mine. He got an Arabian Nights horse, and you see,
he's now up to number 10.
He's up to number 10. He loved it so much. He flew his first model airplane, and he loved it. Now he's up to number 10, like it's a fucking piece of property.
And I don't say he loved all 10, but he likes 7 of them a lot. In fact, he said 6 of them are better than anybody else he has. I don't think that's a bad percentage, right?
Look, look at the fat beast. Fat beast.
And a lot of people are becoming fans. We passed the First Step Act, through the House, and we're working with the Senate to pass that into law.
And he sits on fucking Donna Lemon's show and somehow, I didn't have anything to gain. He is fucking nutting in his pants right there. That he said, just his fat bitch ass is sitting. We went to the White House and I was sitting at the right hand of the president, and I was called to go, and I was called. I'm not gonna get this worked up this fucking early. I'm not doing it. Damn it, I'm not doing it.
And I think we'll be able to do it. When we say hire American, we mean all Americans, every American, everybody. We cannot have opportunity without safety. We're working every day with local and federal law enforcement to reduce violent crime all over the country. I mean, you look all over the world, you think, but all over our country. And the numbers are
Look,
going
she ain't
down.
stopped smiling.
Every American child should be able to grow up in a safe community, surrounded by a loving family with access to a great education that leads to a lifelong career and success and all of the things that go with great success.
I also am struck by the fact that why do they bitch ass need to go to the White House to discuss allegedly prison reform when you have an entire congressional black caucus in the Congress and you have black Congress people and all that shit? How do their fucking fat pork eating asses think that their coming there is going to do anything? And by the way, we're going to be keeping a close eye on fat pig bitch right there, because he claims on Don Lemon, I had to go and be the voice for people who couldn't speak for themselves. Really? Oh my God.
We also underscore the crucial importance of faith in fostering strong families and communities. And I just want to again thank you all for being here, and you're very special people. I don't even know if you know that.
I don't even know if you know that. Because like Donald Lemon said to the fat beast, he said, you were being used. A lot of people say you're being used. Well, anybody that was trying to use anything that, I wasn't being used. Yes, you were, you fat beast. So hear what this white devil just said right there. I don't even know if you know how special you are.
And I just want to again thank you all for being here, and you're very special people. I don't even know if you know that.
I don't know if you know that. Think about that statement.
But you're very special people.
But you're very special people, because you are coons that would come up here against the fucking interest of every fucking African person that shares your skin color. Because I don't give a shit about none of you. I'm a white devil. I am only interested in forwarding fucking white supremacy. And so you are very special to come up here to be the fake ass, still in bondage ass slaves that you are, with your pork chop fucking bellies. I love you. Welcome to the White House.
You're admired by everybody in this country.
No, you're not. And look at her bitch ass. The bitch is retarded. And she's on
They're
pills.
not believers. Most of them admire what you're doing.
Look.
But maybe we'll make them believers, right? We're going to work. And I'd like to ask John Gray if you could just start off with a prayer.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, John.
God, we thank you for an opportunity to speak about the hearts of those who sometimes cannot fight for themselves. Thank you for this moment to be able to share our hearts with the president and his administration. Dr. King said, we cannot influence a table that we are not seated at. And so we pray that this conversation will be fruitful and productive and honoring of the best traditions of this nation.
Look at these fucking Sambos. That's what you got, black folks. That's what's been representing you since fucking whenever. You would never see Muslims sitting at that table. But black Christian ass motherfuckers can be counted on to bend over every goddamn time. No question. You will always score with one of them. Just go get them. Go get them. It makes me sick.
further pray that you will continue to give wisdom and insight to our president and his leadership team to be what our nation needs, to build this country from the inside out, that we will continue to be a beacon of hope and light around this world. Bless his family, bless his health, and everything that he puts his hands to do. This is our prayer, and bless our time together. Jesus, in your name I pray.
Jesus, in your name. That sends me into the fucking stratosphere. You don't even understand. Oh my God. It's the quintessence of every damn thing that is sickening. This is it. Wow.
Amen.
Amen.
Look, and she amen like it's a fucking cheer rally.
Thank you, Jim. I think he's
Look.
done that before. I appreciate it. Thank you. Maybe we can go around the room and we'll start, well, my friend, from the beginning.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Maybe just say a couple of words.
I feel like the audio is a little low. I think I can do a little bit better, since we're going to be at this for a half hour.
From the beginning.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes,
Maybe
sir.
just say a couple of words. If you...
I'm so blessed and honored to be here and to be able to pray right here in the White House. And the most recent thing I've noticed that you've done so many things that were great. Everybody expects me to talk about the life and the babies, and I could do that. But you opening up the steel mills. And I lived across the street past us in front of a steel mill in Birmingham. Now that's when they were bombing us and everything. But the people were at work. So they could go to church, they could give tithes, they had pretty dresses to wear on Sunday, and they weren't hungry. So you said you were going to reopen those steel mills.
They're opening.
I'll leave it at that. I won't take too much time.
Like, since I've been on Earth, I'm a man of principle. Like, that's my cement base principle. It's a window into the soullessness of these people. They're flapping in the wind. They're ignorant. They don't know who they are. They are anesthetized by this Christian vomit. This bitch is on pills, I proclaim to you. Where is Dexter King, the one that looks just like Dr. King, that we never see him? We never see Dexter King. When's the last time he was even seen in public? Is he still living? Instead, you got these fat bitches, their brother Martin Luther King Jr., his fat ass, who also went and licked the damn ass of Trump. We did that video. Like, I can't, dude.
Dumping is stopping. You know the dumping. The dumping is stopping and the steel mills are opening.
Yes.
United States Steel just announced another 2 plants. They're up to 8. Nucor just yesterday opening
just as
a
giddy.
big one, a brand new one, $250 million in Florida.
Moist.
The steel mills are coming back. And we need steel in our country.
We do.
We need it for defense. We need it for a lot of reasons. We can't let that happen. They were ready to be gone. It was ready to be extinct. We had to get our steel from other countries. We can't do that. So
Thank you,
thank
sir.
you for mentioning
Really,
that.
thank you. I saw that.
Yeah, they're really open. It's
Well, especially after 9/11, they shipped all the damn steel from the towers immediately the same day to fucking China, huh? Excuse you?
an incredible story. Please.
All right. John Ponder, Las Vegas, Nevada.
By the way, U.S. Steel, huge ties to slavery. We're responsible for their goddamn success too. Look it up.
Story.
Let's hear the rest of these bitches.
All right. John Ponder, Las Vegas, Nevada. First of all, Mr. President, I'd like to thank you for recognizing me on the National Day of Prayer for the
Yes.
transformative power of Jesus that had worked in my life. Since that day, I echo your
The
sentiments. that-
transformative power that Jesus has made in my life. Are you fucking serious? Christians, for the love of God, why do you worship the creation and not the creator? What is your answer for that? You don't have one. You may as well just walk out your house and start worshiping the fucking lilies. Because that's creation. Go hug a tree. Worship that.
The work that's being done in the reentry community as a result of prison reform, there are a lot of employers out there right now that are willing to hire people who are coming home from the prison system. One of the things that we've learned was that employers are not willing to hire people. They're not willing to hire projects. And because of these different initiatives, when we're able to help them to be tremendous assets to the employers and not liabilities, then they're hiring them all day long. So we just thank you for the direction that the country is going in, specifically as our partnerships with law enforcement are beginning to grow. Las Vegas Metropolitan.
While we're being shot down in the street, our relationship with law enforcement is growing. And by the way, everybody's licking his ass. Nobody has said, you know, we've come here to ask for X, Y, and Z. And what are you going to do about such and such? Everybody's just there to lick his ass and be seen with this fucking devil. I cannot.
The police department has given us over 60 men and women from the police department that are serving as mentors and trainers for people coming home from the prison system. And I think that is a direct result of the direction that our country is going in. So I thank you and your administration for the hard work.
Well, thank you very much.
We just came here to tell you you're doing such a fantastic job. We're such fucking moist-ass fucking sissies that we don't have any demands or any asks to make of you. We just came here to tell you how wonderful you're doing.
Something that should have been done a long time ago, prison reform.
See, that's a dig at Obama. You sitting your black asses up there and letting him dish your brother to your Christian fake-ass vomit fucking fuck-ass fucking faces. Cannot stand you.
And Paula and Jared, I want to really thank you for the job you've done.
Ignorance.
It's really incredible. But a lot of people are saying, you mean it's the Trump administration that's doing this? You understand?
You see that? I already told you it's a dig at Obama. And now he says, and people are saying he's just pulling that out of his ass. It's the oldest sales trick in the book. Well, everybody's doing it. Well, everybody. When nobody has done the shit. It's the oldest, it's sales 101. And people are saying, you mean it's the Trump administration that's doing this? May the fleas of 1,000 camels infest their fucking nostrils. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
For the job you've done, it's really incredible. But a lot of people are saying, you mean it's the Trump administration that's doing this? You understand?
Look at this bitch. Yep, Massa. Yeah, the bitch is on pills.
Believe it. We're really making a tremendous amount of progress, and it's a beautiful thing to watch. Thank you, gentlemen.
Mr. President, Reverend DeJesus from the city of Chicago.
Look at the body language. Meek. Meek.
From the community of Humboldt Park, New Life
Hands folded, like, I don't want to say too much.
Covenant Church. First of all, let me just say thank you for your boldness. Thank you for taking a stand for those that are...
Another ass licker. Thank you for all the wonderful thing you're doing. You're the Messiah. That's all we've heard so far. That's all we've heard.
Disenfranchised. And I want to say that in the city of Chicago, there are so many pockets that's not talked about revitalization. And I know this is something in your heart of rebuilding communities. And I look forward to partnering with you and your administration to revitalize the city of Chicago.
He's a transgender. I said it.
Thank you.
Sir. Mr. President, my name is Van Moody from the Worship Center in Birmingham, Alabama. And
dark-skinned fucking black man. Look, fingers crossed. Everybody's got their fingers interlocked. You see? That's not a lion. That's not a man who has come to represent his position. That's, please, Massa, can I have some grits, please? Please, Massa. Please. Please, Massa. Powerful, please. That's what that is. Let's hear his intro again.
Sir. Mr. President, my name is Van Moody from the Worship Center in Birmingham, Alabama. And I just want to continue to underscore what's already been said. Thank you for your heart for all people,
See,
but particularly your leadership on the issue of prison reform and workforce development. Those are two of the biggest issues facing Alabama. A lot of the individuals that we spend a lot of time ministering to are really hard hit in those areas, corporations. That's the biggest issue right now in Alabama. So thank you for your leadership on this issue. Thank you for being compassionate and caring about all.
wow, I think I just lost a fucking neuron. Thank you for being compassionate and caring about all people. He should be thrown through the plate glass window.
Now in Alabama. So thank you for your leadership on this issue. Thank you for being compassionate and caring about all people.
Great state, too. Great people. Thank you.
Mr. President, Kyle Searcy, Montgomery.
Look at the hands. So far, everybody's licked ass. This is Kyle Searcy. Look at the hands, everybody. Every one of them. That's what we've seen.
Alabama also. I want to echo all that's been said. We're very grateful for your heart toward criminal justice reform, your heart toward the urban communities. It's very, very amazing. Montgomery, Alabama is a city that's known for unity and bringing people together, and so many things have come out of that city. And it's just very encouraging that you have a heart to begin to bring people together, work across the aisle, and get things done. Many people on our team pray for you every single day.
That's really
Thank you,
nice.
Mr. President.
I appreciate it both. Thank you very much.
Another ass licker. Where are the men in the African community in this asshole of Satan? Where are they? Where are real men at, everybody? Where are the men? Where are the men? I ask you. I ask you. Where are they?
Mr. President, Philip Godot
Look at the hands.
from Sacramento, California, and don't give up on California. please don't give up on California. I'm in Sacramento. I'm right in the capital there, and we're working in every area to try to make a difference in the people's lives. So I guess the greatest word I can say for you, Mr. President, is that you have given this country expectations, given us a new hope, a new excitement.
Really? Because nobody was on the fucking National Mall when the bitch was inaugurated. Where was the excitement? Even the heavens wouldn't acknowledge, and it rained on the bitch. And it was freezing cold. Where was it, everybody? You know, this is like a fake nigga that can't approach a woman and don't really know what to say to her, and he's trying to get with her. And he's just saying bullshit. Well, the bitch's shoes are rolling down and leaning to the left and shit. Them shoes, I really like them shoes, though. The bitch makes a peanut butter sandwich. You can show cook. It's that same thing. Spineless. Spineless. Man.
It's a new hope, a new excitement.
You know what? I know where the men are. I know where they're at. Because if you had Louis Farrakhan sitting in that room and a team of his fucking troops, and all they do is give death glare. Like death glare. This would be, first of all, it wouldn't have taken place. Because you're not going into that White House unless you have Vaseline on your ass. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
I believe that things are getting better and going to get better. And we appreciate that leadership, your tenacity to keep pushing in against all the opposition that comes against you.
Really? Obama did 8 years. This motherfucker's been in office for 10 minutes, and they act like he's the fucking second coming of the Messiah. Like they just saw him part the Red Sea and Moses was standing right there. Fake. Fake. And what we all need to do is we need to go back to that video of Pastor Jamal Bryant that I gave you as part of your homework. And we need to go back and watch that fucking video. And we need to write down every fucking church that he was citing. He was naming names and churches, bitch. We need that information. We need that. Because you see, in my perfect world, with a Black Independence Liberation League that was up and running, we would be descending on those churches. And we would be doing several month campaigns in each fucking state or city or wherever the fuck they exist. We would do a several month campaign on each fucking church to run fucking members away from the damn church. Through our flyers, our propaganda, our lectures, whatever. Don't go to this bitch's church. Do you understand me? And any of them who have books and CDs and shit, we would picket. And we would make problems for the publishing companies to where they would just drop their fucking publishing contract. Oh, there are ways to deal with coons, everybody. But we must be united in our efforts. That's not even half of it. I'm just giving you an overview. You don't understand the shit that I can conjure. You have no clue. No clue of the shit I can conjure to be effective.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Very nice.
Mr. President Travis Hayes, I am Richard Travis Hayes. I'm the CFO of Relentless Church in Greenville, South Carolina. I'm honored to be here among
right devil, can't see
in the
him.
presence of
Don't need
greatness,
to.
and I'm excited about the opportunity to learn more. Used to be in law enforcement, so I'm really excited to hear about these programs with regards to folks who are just being released from prison and getting back into the workplace.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. President, Pastor Julian Lowe from Oasis Church in
Now look at these two over here. Their hands are no longer on the table. You see?
Los Angeles, and I'm very grateful for this administration and for you personally. I didn't grow up in the church, and I was taught growing up that faith and government were completely separated and completely different. So you offering this roundtable and giving pastors and faith leaders a voice throughout the country. I heard about the meeting you had yesterday.
So we'll just ignore the fact that Obama had Muslims to the White House and celebrated Eid, one of our holiest holidays. Huh? We'll throw that out. That never happened, everybody. There's never been any faith people that have been to the White House before now, clearly. This is historical. It's a first, never seen before in the history of man. Never seen. You see? But you heard this fucking black dot say, you know, I was raised in the church, and that's the problem. That's why they're all sitting there. Because of that Christian anesthesia. You may as well just put a fucking needle in your arm and fucking take arsenic. Because it's the equivalent of that Christian vomit. Poisonous and deadly to your soul.
Offering this roundtable and giving pastors and faith leaders a voice throughout the country. I heard about the meeting you had yesterday as well with other faith leaders, and so it's very encouraging, inspiring, and gives me hope to take back to the people of Los Angeles. Honored to be here, and thank you very much.
My honor.
Mr. President, Benny Perez from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm so honored to be here with all these incredible men and women. Thank you so much as being a Hispanic leader to see what is happening in the Hispanic community. It is the largest, as you know, ethnic community in America, and to have the lowest unemployment rate, and to see my family members and my community being really empowered to live a life and not just dream, but actually see the dream come reality. Thank you for all that you're doing. It's making a huge difference in Las Vegas, and for acknowledging the churches as we partner with you and the government to make a huge difference in Las Vegas.
The hands. And he's not there for the same reason these black-ass Sambos. When Latinos are anywhere, they're there for fucking Latinos, or they're not in the room at all. But all their dumbasses think they're all there for the same thing. He's there for fucking Latino people, period, the goddamn end. And that's not shade. That's just goddamn truth.
beyond. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. You know, the churches weren't so much acknowledged, you know, that over the last number of years we acknowledge.
The churches weren't acknowledged so much over the last years, but we acknowledge. And that's the fucking pimple of the devil sitting right there. I ask you, who looks and acts like a man of faith? A God-fearing, righteous, sincere human being. This white bitch or Barack Obama? You couldn't even get Obama to say a bad thing about somebody. His compassion and forgiveness was unequaled and pissed me off sometimes even. But that was a pious man. This is a circus act. I can't.
Thank you.
Hear that fucking, and he's just continuously throwing shade at fucking Obama. And what do they all got to say? Not a damn thing. We got to go to the White House and sit with Massa. That's what this is for them. To feel important. To feel important. I never saw a fucking Christian pastor that just walked up to his church on like a 10-speed bike to open up the church, and he's just in like some basic jeans and a nice dress shirt or something. They all have to be extravagant. They want to be connected to everybody in the fucking community just for access and fucking fame and shit. There's nothing holy about these people. They are satanic. Satanic. And they don't know the Most High.
So much.
Well, thank you. You know, the churches weren't so much acknowledged,
Hear that.
you know, that over the last number of years we acknowledge.
Right. And look at this bitch, the bitch on pills. She can't wait to nod at everything Massa say. She's so moist right there, it's a fucking puddle under her goddamn chair.
These are great people.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Paula?
Pastor Paula White of New Destiny Christian Center, and it's an honor to serve you through our faith initiative and opportunity.
Look at the bitch.
Thank you for bringing the faith base back to the White House.
Look.
And for all the great things you continue
Moist
to do.
as shit. The bitch is on pills.
Thank you for everything.
Yes, sir.
Jared, would you like to say something?
Sure. When you asked me to lead your efforts to try to reform our country's prisons and to see what we
Now, this is his fucking Zionist-ass son-in-law. That's your Jared Kushner, huh? Ivanka's little dick-ass husband, huh? The devil. The devil. Oh my God. I need a snack.
do from the federal government, we're running into a little bit of a problem of politics in Congress. And so I reached out to a lot of you to see if you could help get the word out in your communities and to try to let the people in Washington know that making progress on this issue is more important than whatever political differences people may have. You guys came to the White House, you all mobilized your communities, and we were able to get the bill through the House, and hopefully we'll have the same results in the Senate. What happened from there, though, is it opened a dialogue between this administration and a lot of you, which has led us to believe that a lot of the policies we've been pushing under the President's leadership do help all of your communities and do help your different places where you're leading, and it's enabled us to open up a further dialogue. So I'm very happy today for everyone to be here today to talk about this administration's efforts for prison reform, but also to discuss what we can work on further together to continue to make a difference for all Americans.
See, that was the precursor, because they're going to be calling these Sambo-ass Negroes for the vote, because they want this orange tulip to have a second term. And if one does a deeper search and begin to look into the backgrounds of every one of these damn Sambos and finds out what states are they from, I think we would start to see electoral numbers. Do you understand what I'm telling you? And they want those margins of that black vote.
That's really nice. And, you know, Jared's working on a lot of very important things, but this has become, I think, just about number one on your list. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? It's just been great the way you've done it. We all I think I speak for the room when I say we appreciate it. Great job. Marvin.
Mr. President, it's an honor to be here. When you asked us to speak, the first thing I thought about was my grandfather and how it's an honor to be here. And, you know, he passed away a few years ago. but he raised 10 kids in the inner city of Detroit. And when you were speaking, you were talking about how important faith was in the community and how it helps the family. And
who's this sitting here? Is this the Ivanka bitch, or is that, I don't know. I don't know. Let's hear this cone-ass Sambo.
Raised 10 kids in the inner city of Detroit. You know, he passed away a few years ago, but he raised 10.
The room when I say we appreciate it. Great job. Marvin.
Mr. President, it's an honor to be here. When you asked us to speak, the first thing I thought about was my grandfather and how it's an honor to be here. And you know, he passed away a few years ago, but he raised 10 kids in the inner city of Detroit. And when you were speaking, you were talking about how important faith was in the community and how it helps the family. And my grandfather did that, working odd jobs. He was a taxi driver. He cut hair. He did everything possible. But he also had them in church, and he kept them, you know, together. He was with his wife, married for I think around 50 years before he passed away. But our family was able to do things that a lot of families, you know, aren't able to do without the assistance of faith and having church and having families together. And so to hear you talking about, you know, keeping that in the communities, I think is super important. And I'm just happy for this opportunity, and just God bless you and everything you're doing, and thank you, Pastor Paul.
Still, no ask, no demand, no agenda. Just lick the ass of this devil. We're still waiting on some man to show up now. We're just waiting.
Thank you, Marvin. Great family. Great family.
Mr. President, it's been an honor to serve you in this administration. Today is a watershed moment.
We can't see him, but we can see his damn hands. You see? Let's go back.
You, Pastor Paul.
Thank you, Marvin. Great family. Great family.
Mr. President, it's been an honor to serve you in this administration. Today is a watershed moment. It's an opportunity to learn about a community that's felt left behind for years. And the things that you're doing under your leadership could drastically change situations and speak for people who can't speak for themselves. Each one of these leaders speak for forgotten people around this country who have dealt with pain regardless of who was president. And this opportunity for you to show your leadership to move things in a different direction. So,
remember, this is the same white devil that says NFL players are sons of bitches for kneeling. Same asshole that when the fuckers came out with their swastikas and all the bullshit in Charlottesville said, well, you know, there's bad people on both sides. Same asshole that claimed he didn't know who David Duke was. You want me to keep giving you his dossier? And these fucked up ass, fake ass, soulless ass, demonic ass fucking black fucking Christians are sitting up in there licking his ass. I'm over it.
it's been an honor to serve with pain regardless of who was president. And this opportunity for you to show your leadership to speak for themselves. Each one of these leaders speak for forgotten people around this country who have dealt with pain regardless of who was president. And this opportunity for you to show your leadership to move things in a different direction. So it's been an honor to serve, and look forward to continue to work with you.
See, another ass licking.
It's very nice. I appreciate it.
Dr. Darrell Scott, I've had the honor and privilege to work with then
This is the bisexual fucking pimp.
candidate, now President Trump, and to observe him behind the scenes and have a number of personal conversations with him. And people ask me, why do I defend him so vociferously? And I say it's easy for me to do because I know him. And he's shown me his heart, and I know he has a heart for all Americans. And I will say this administration has taken a lot of people by surprise, and it's going to surprise you guys even more, because this is probably the most proactive administration regarding urban America and the faith-based community in my lifetime. And I'll be 60 years old in December. But when I think back on, I mean, I use good hair, though. Not that great makeup. But to be honest,
They're all up in there laughing and grinning, and it's all jovial. I need you to really understand the weight of this, everybody. That's why I'm going through this. I need you to really see this in its total clarity and understand how sick this is. He may as well just had on the fucking Klansman's robe, and they just sit up there and they just have like a mini cross burning in the middle of the fucking table.
This is probably going to be and I'm going to say this at this table, the most pro-black president that we've had in our lifetime, because, and I try to, analyze the people that I encounter.
The most pro-black president we've had in our lifetime, this bitch said. Where's the fucking spontaneous combustion when you need it? Where people just burst into flames, just fucking unknown why and shit.
This president actually wants to prove something to our community, our faith-based community and our ethnic community. The last president didn't feel like he had to. He felt like he didn't have to prove. He got a pass. This president...
You see this fucking bitch on pills patting the fucking devil on his shoulder, everybody? Watch everything. Watch.
The last president didn't feel like he had to. He felt like he didn't have to prove. He got a pass. This president this administration is probably going to be more proactive regarding urban revitalization and prison reform than any president in your lifetime.
That's why I say, where are the men? Because these motherfuckers got to go home somewhere. Where are the men who are there when they return to stand their ass down and call them to account and deal with them? Where are the men? And he just made that statement and they just all sit they black ass up there and don't say a fucking thing? Don't tell me shit about a black Christian. Don't ever approach me.
We work together, give them a chance. Don't pay any attention to these guys back here.
Say it, brother.
And I promise you, we will do something that we will. This administration will continue to make history. It's going to be a lot of positive change. Great things on the horizon.
I have to say one thing about that. So I didn't know him at all, and I'm watching one of the, I would say, unfriendly groups of broadcasters, to put it nicely. And I said, "Who is that guy?"
Look,
he was destroying them. I say, "Who is he?" There are some 2 or 3 times. And look, I said, "Who is that?"
Stop grinning since she fucking sat down.
To put it nicely,
is on pills. Do you hear me?
And I said, "Who is that guy?" He was destroying them. I say, "Who is he?" There I saw him 2 or 3 times, and I said, "I have to meet him." But I want to just thank you. You have been incredible. You are some voice. And when I heard, okay, tell him, how long are you married? Tell me.
39 years.
Okay.
38 years.
So I thought he was like 35 years old. So did you. And then he said, "Say hello to my wife." And he said, "I've been married 39 years. I said, "You're married 39 years. I thought you were 35 years old, right?" But you're doing a good job. You're obviously doing it right because you look great, and we really appreciate it.
We're going to be all right.
Right from the beginning.
Joan's been working with us a lot. You know,
Great.
He used to live on my street when he was a kid. Same city.
Good job.
So,
Small world. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it.
Mr. President, Bishop Kevin L. Cabarrus, the Impact Church of Orlando, Florida. I want to thank you, and I echo the sentiments of all of the colleagues that have already spoken.
How far have we gotten around the room? Everybody is licking the ass. Nobody has challenged. Nobody is confronting. Nobody's bringing an agenda. It's, you're the Messiah, and we love you, Massa. Thank you for them cold-ass grits. That's all.
Good job. Small world. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it.
Mr. President, Bishop Kevin L. Cabarrus, the Impact Church of Orlando, Florida. I want to thank you, and I echo the sentiments of all of the colleagues that have already spoken for your work as it relates to prison reform. And I definitely thank you for your commitment to partnering with the faith-based community. I happen to be in many rooms, in one room in particular, we had a meeting a year ago in the Oval Office, and you said to all of the faith leaders standing around your desk that I'm going to untie the hands of the faith-based community. I'm going to free you and take the muzzle off of your mouth. And in a year's time, I have watched you day by day do just that by freeing the faith community and partnering with us to do what we've been called to do, and that's to impact our community. So
Well, one of the big things we've done.
Ain't none of these motherfuckers done a damn thing. Like they're leaders. Who are they leading, everybody? Why don't we see the fruit of any fucking thing they've done? And why do they always assign that the leaders of our fucking community are always these bitch niggers? Bitch ass sissies. It's never somebody from the business sector or the political sector or somebody that's in finance or something. No. It's always a fat ass, pork eating, fucking black ass, glasses wearing fucking Christian that's supposed to be a goddamn leader. I can't.
And there's the Johnson Amendment. You know, you're free to do what you want to do now. You couldn't talk because you were afraid of a lot of bad repercussion. And we, as you know, we've taken that off. That was a bad thing.
Yes, it was.
That was a bad thing that Lyndon Johnson did a long time ago. You had to have a lot of power to get it done, but you now are free to say what you want, and when you want to support somebody, you support that. It doesn't have to be me. Of course, I hope it's me. But you're...
See? And this bitch is on pills. She hasn't stopped grinning. She's in fucking La La Land. She's fucking having vertigo and everything right there. That bitch. Fat bitch. You understand me? I can't.
You know, you're the people that we respect, and you were really not able to say what was on your mind. And we want you to say what was on your mind and what is on your mind.
What have they got so pent up that they couldn't say?
So I think getting rid of that is a big, big factor. And at some point in the not too distant future, we're going to put it through Congress. In addition to just an executive order, we're going to put it through Congress. We're going to get rid of it permanently because it should not be here. Okay? We're going to work on that. Thank you.
Mr. President, I'm Sharon Nesbitt, Senior Pastor of Dominion Church in Arkansas. I want to say thank you for your policies on prison reform and urban initiatives.
This is some sister now. I just wanted to thank you. Where's it? So this was not a meeting, everybody. This was a go to the fucking White House to lick the ass of this white devil and praise him. That's it. Dumb, retarded ass motherfuckers. Retarded.
As you know, Arkansas has one of the largest prison rates in the country, so thank you for getting us back to the table and for your faith-based initiatives to let us come to the table.
Thank you very much. Great place. Great place. Thank you.
Mr. President, my name is Bishop Daryl Hines from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I pass
the hands. And he's a bishop.
pastor of the Christian Faith Fellowship Church of God in Christ, and I serve on the general board of the Church of God in Christ, where we have a 5-point faith-based initiative for inner city reform, and of course prison is one of them. And so I appreciate, first of all, being invited to the table. It's an interesting thing because I was watching news. I watch news all the time, and I saw you on news. This was just last week, and I said, you know, I would love to go and have him hear me. I said, I don't know how that's possible. I don't know anybody who knows him. And then I get the call from, I don't want to call him Coconut, but I get him from Marvin Jr. He calls me and he says, listen, I want you to go with me to the White House. And I think the most interesting thing about this moment is that we hear several things, but to know you hear us.
Where's the ask, everybody? Everybody has gone to lick the ass of this white devil. Then you get after him. You're getting around here to the fucking old bitch. It'll be the same thing, no question.
Is an encouraging moment, and I want to thank you for taking this time to invite us to the White House, and then taking the time to hear us concerning.
Thank you, Massa, for these cold grits. Taking time to hear us. They haven't said anything. I want to thank you for taking the time to hear us. They haven't said anything. Hear you on what? All you've done is licked his ass the entire time. What is he hearing you on? I want to tell you, and they will walk out of that room and say, just that he took the time to hear us. Bitch, what did you present? And by the way, nobody's got like a dossier in front of them, or a ledger or some shit of all the shit they're going to hit him with. They're sitting up their hands fucking folded. Thank you for these cold grits, Massa. You see?
Is that we hear several things, but to know you hear us is an encouraging moment. And I want to thank you for taking this time to invite us to the White House, and then taking the time to hear us concerning our concerns in our community and in our faith. because they both need the ear of the president. So thank you.
Very nice. Thank you. So you're surprised you get that call right after?
Yes, right after. God moves in mysterious ways.
You know who that is, right?
Thank you,
Listen, we haven't missed anything, everybody. I played it from the beginning. Remember, he had the fucking orange suit made his opening statement and everything. So where did we miss the part where they were heard? Did we miss that frame? Now this fucking Yoda-ass motherfucker is about to speak.
Our community and in our faith, because they both need the ear of the president. So thank you.
Very nice. Thank you. So you're surprised you get that call right after?
Yes, right after. God moves in mysterious ways.
You know who that is, right?
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Bill Owens, founder and president of the Coalition of African American Pastors.
Bill Owens. Thank you, Mr. President. And what's he going to say?
I'm honored to be
Nothing.
here with you today. We've met several times. Thank you, Dr. Scott, for the invitation, Paula White, to be here. And we are with you 100%.
We're with you 100%. Where's the ask? Where's it at? Huh?
I'm with Bishop Hines. I'm Church of God in Christ. And we all in it together. And we will work together to make the difference.
Thank you very much.
Can I say something? Reverend Owens has been active with several different administrations in the past as well. He worked with President Reagan, am I right?
Bush.
President Bush. Very close.
He marched with Martin Luther King too.
Thank you very much.
And it was my turn to go while everybody was Mr. President, I am certainly honored to be.
See? Massa, thank you for the cold grits. We're almost at the end of it. What have they talked about? Bitches. Bitches all. There's no men at this table, everybody. There's no men. These are spineless bitch-ass little boys. That's it. Thank you, Massa, for the cold grits. That's what we're getting here.
Thank you very much.
And it was my turn to go while everybody was Mr. President, I am certainly honored to be here with you. I'm Pastor Mike Freeman from Spirit of Faith Christian Center. 10 minutes from this house. You are invited any Sunday you would like to go.
Sounds good.
I'll leave a parking space open for you there so you won't have any opportunity to be delayed. This is a very critical time that we're in. One of the things I remember the most and recall about a statement you made when you were running, you said, if you were able to win the White House, that Christians would have a friend in the White House. I was really eager to find out whether or not that word would be kept as such.
Remember, Constitution says separation of church and state. Huh? So why is anybody in that room right now? Separation of church and state. And do you hear what this bitch just said? Let's go back.
When you made when you were running, you said if you were able to win the White House, that Christians would have a friend in the White House.
Separation of church and state.
I was really eager to find out whether...
I was really eager to find out, like you're going to go to your parents and ask them for $10. But you know your bitch ass supposed to be on fucking restriction or something. I was wondering kind of if it's okay, man, so I'm powerful. Don't want to anger you. If maybe you thought maybe you could maybe answer me. Maybe I just kind of wondered if... Hear the structure of his question. It's exactly what I'm telling you.
About a statement you made when you were running, you said if you were able to win the White House, that Christians would have a friend in the White House. I was really eager to find out whether or not that word would be kept as such.
I was wondering if that word was going to be kept as such. Remember, this is supposed to be a Christian fucking nation, though, too. they'll have a friend in the White House, as if the fucking Buddhists and the Hare Krishnas are just taking over the place. And Christians just don't have a place. We just don't have a place. This is fake as shit. Everybody in that fucking room needs to fucking vomit.
To be sitting here with you today as a representative of the Christian community, it is so wonderful. I'm elated to know, first of all, you're a man of your word. Secondly, you have an ear to hear from God. With your having an ear to hear from God, this country is in
an ear to hear from God. I promise you, oh my God, I have so much venom in me right now. You don't even know. You don't even know. You don't even know. You don't even know. Worst human beings on the goddamn earth is black Christians. The worst human beings, without exception.
great hands. My prayer for you is that your ear will always be open to the wisdom and the Spirit of God. And I'm praying for you constantly, and everything I pray for comes to pass. God bless you.
That's very nice. I'll get over it.
See, it was just another thank you for the cold grits. Now, what is this bitch going to say?
Yes, sir. That would be
I will
great.
get over it. Thank you, sir.
Mr. President, I'm Bishop Dale Bronner from Atlanta, the senior pastor and founder of Word of Faith Family Worship Cathedral. And I'm from the business world. My father planted a business in the hair cosmetic manufacturing business in 1947. Wow. And so we've been doing business there in Atlanta for all of these years and employing people. So thank you so much. But I love the stimulation that I see in the economy now. It is the best that it has been in so many years. And I'm so deeply, deeply grateful for all of the...
Really? The economy's fucking stimulated? Gas is a fucking $1,000 a teaspoon.
Prison reform initiatives that I see underway. That's exciting and enthralling to me, as well as the urban initiatives that will help minority communities around this country. Thank you so much for your boldness and your courage to make great things happen, and you're making them happen.
Thank you for the cold grits, Massa. Nobody's got a dossier in front of them. Nobody's got a 10-point plan. Nobody's got anything they wanted to challenge him on. No position they wanted to bring. It was announce my name and say thank you for the cold grits, Massa. Every single one of them. Every single one of them.
Thank you very much, Jeff.
I'm Bishop Harry Jackson from right here in the D.C. area. First of all, I really feel called to pray for you.
Absolutely.
In the year
I feel called to all this being called and shit. Christians make me sick with that shit. I was called, and the Spirit of the Lord told me, and fuck you.
before you, as you ran, I felt that burden. I felt that feeling that you're going to win, and I'm so very thankful, as he said, that you're so open. Criminal justice reform is so critical because it prevents many African Americans and Hispanics from becoming a permanent underclass. And I think the opportunity zone concepts that you're working with are critical because it brings green power. We really don't need black power unless you got some green power working with that black power. It brings green power to our urban areas. So I believe we can.
Obama did that. Thank you very much. With his green initiative. I pray for the deaths of these people. I pray for the deaths of these people. Because as long as they fucking live, this is the bullshit that they do across the earth. Some people just aren't fucking fit to live. And you pray they drop fucking dead.
Break the generational curse of poverty and people who are isolated. And it's because of your boldness. And despite all that's been coming against you, you've stood your ground. And you've been a champion. God bless you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Look, cheesing like shit.
Mr. President.
He just nutted on himself. Massa just shook my hand. Look.
Thank you. Thank you.
Look. Look. Smiling in the face of the devil.
Appreciate it. John?
Mr. President, John Gray, Senior
Fat bitch.
Pastor of Relentless Church in Greenville, South Carolina. And I am grateful for the opportunity to be at this table.
Now remember, when you watch that one of the videos that I'm giving for your homework, you're going to hear this fat beast said he was there to speak for those who couldn't speak for themselves. And I proclaim to you, all he's going to do right now is lick the asshole of Massa and thank him for the cold grits. So, where was he, the voice of the voiceless? And he was called to be there. That called shit. Bitch, answer your phone. That's the only call you're getting.
At a time in our country where faith is becoming a bit of a dinosaur, in a time of moral relativism and secular humanism, it is refreshing to know that those of us who have committed our lives to fighting for people who cannot fight for themselves have a seat at the table to share our hearts. I believe that the very best principles of Scripture call us to fight for the poor, for the oppressed, for those who have made mistakes. Criminal justice reform is an opportunity to give a second and third chance to those who want to become productive members of society. Our nation cannot forget the broken. It is in the best tradition of our nation to fight for them. And when I think about the history of the church in this country, we have always fought for those who could not fight for themselves. So when I think of those who are coming out of prison who want to contribute, this is critical. When I think of veterans, I have here the obituary of my uncle who passed away a few weeks ago. He was 77. He was a veteran in the U.S. Army, and he battled through mental illness and other challenges. And we saw systemic poverty, multi-generational poverty.
That would be from slavery, fat bitch. Go on.
But had he been resourced with the proper care, and had he been resourced with other necessities, he could have contributed even more. And so I'm very grateful for you.
Where's the ask? Where's the ask, everybody? I'm still waiting for it. Did somebody else hear it and the Jedi missed it? Did I miss it? Huh? Where's the ask? Where's the demand? Where's the agenda?
For this administration that's allowing for the conversation. And again, my prayer is that you will continue to have wisdom and insight to lead this nation. Truly, all of us are created equal. And so thank you for giving us an equal opportunity to fight for this nation and what it means to be an American.
Remember, we've seen it from the beginning, everybody. And what it means to be an American, said the fat fucking lard ass. Where's the ask? By the way, what's the title of the video? Trump meets with inner city pastors at the White House. But we know that the whole thing was they were there to discuss prison reform. There's no discussion going on. This is lick the ass of Massa and thank you for the cold grits. What am I missing? What am I missing?
We'll continue to have wisdom and insight to lead this nation. Truly, all of us are created equal. And so thank you for giving us an equal opportunity to fight for this nation and what it means to be an American.
Thank you, John. How many people in your church?
Well, we just started 3 months ago, and we have about 5,500, 6,000.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard it's really incredible.
See? They want those votes. That's why these dumbass coons are up in that bitch. Faith-based initiative, faith this, faith that. That's how Bush's ass fucking became president. He started targeting the fucking evangelicals. That bullshit. What the fuck is an evangelical? Half they bitch asses can't even spell it. This is about a fucking second term. Because ever since he came into office, they've been making the point, well, he got more of the black vote than Mitt Romney. Like, what does that mean? Like, I have 2 more roaches in my house than the bitch next door. Is that the, what is that? What does that mean? Is that a, what is that? And they've been saying that. Now this, first of all, when he first fucking gets I think it was before he was even elected. Well, maybe it was right before he was elected, or whenever. When they bitch asses when they went to the fucking Trump Tower to meet with him. You have to ask yourself, why? And that's because, as I've told you, that we are the majority in this bitch. We're not 13% of the fucking population. Malcolm was saying that shit back in the 1960s. We've been past that. And their bitch asses are dying off. Praise be to Allah. And we affect elections. That's why every damn election cycle you see in major fucking black states where there's lines. I was having an aerial shot of lines 3 fucking counties long because they pulled some more bullshit with the voting. If we weren't important, they wouldn't fucking do it. Do you understand me? That's why their fat asses are sitting up in there now. Dumbass motherfuckers. Hope they choke on their spit in the middle of the fucking night.
Very quick.
Yes, sir.
Some of them 45,000, 50,000 people. Some of you even more than that.
See there?
So
that's
I congratulate you all, and it's an honor to have you here. More than that.
Wait, let's go back.
I congratulate. That's what I heard. I heard it's really incredible. Very quick.
Yes, sir.
Some of them 45,000, 50,000 people. Some of you even more than that. So I congratulate you all, and it's an honor to have you here. And you always have a friend in the White House. You
See there?
know that. Yeah.
Look, he just cheesing like a fucking bitch.
You know
that
that.
just saw the cookie for the first time. You feel me? Look.
More than that. So
see? Some of you have more than that. So you always have a friend in the White House. I need to do a fucking documentary, dude. Like a traveling documentary to go and fucking talk to the congregants of their goddamn churches and see how fucked up they are too.
I congratulate you all, and it's an honor to have you here. And you always have a friend in the White House. You know that. Harry, you know that, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you all very much.
See, that's it. They came to lick his ass. Nobody asked shit. Nobody brought any agenda, no initiative, no program. Nothing. Nothing. Thank you all for coming. Bye-bye, bitch. Go make sure that I get the fucking second term. You see? It's time for me to get up for prayer. Look, the bitch is on pills.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wow. I can't. I can't. If you are a black Christian under the sound of my voice right now, you need to cleanse. You need to cleanse. Because by extension, this is you. This is you. These people are part of the great destruction of our people down through time. And that's only been increasing over the decades. They should be seen as pariah in our community, just the same as you would see a fucking crack dealer standing on the corner. No difference in a crack dealer and a fucking Christian ass pastor. No difference. They are all the same, and we make no distinction. Every single one of them. Thank you, Massa. That's it. They put on their best suit and their best cologne and their best draws just to go and lick the asshole of Satan. There was no men in that room that represented themselves as an African and said, I'm so-and-so and I'm here on behalf of my people because we don't appreciate the shit. And here's what we want and expect and demand. Nobody. Everybody sat there with the little fucking Tinkerbell fucking hands crossed and shit with their little manicured nails and all of it. Thank you, Massa. You show doing a good job, Massa. Stop the video when I lie. You so good to us, Massa. You the best ever in history, Massa, said one of the coons. Stop the video when I lie. We're just going to scan through this other one just because of camera angles and just something else, and we're going to be over it. I've got a headache in my fucking ear.
To continue bringing opportunity and
We're just
safety
scanning
to
this
all
for
of
camera
our
angles
citizens.
for maybe people we didn't see
Throughout our
or
history,
something like
America's
that.
churches and religious leaders have called for change and have inspired us to care
bitch on
for and
pills?
bring hope back to those in need. So many people in need. These are the people that they do a job and
Faith leaders a voice throughout the country. I heard about the meeting you had yesterday
Saw his bitch
as well
ass.
with other faith leaders, and so it's very encouraging, inspiring, and gives me hope to take back to the people of Los Angeles. Honored to be here, and thank you very much.
my honor. Thank you.
Mr. President, Penny Perez from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm so honored to be here with all these incredible men and women. Thank you so much as being a Hispanic leader to see what is happening in the Hispanic community.
Pastor of the Christian Faith Fellowship Church of God in Christ, and I serve on the General Board of the Church of God in Christ, where we have a 5-point faith-based initiative for inner-city reform, and of course prison is one of them. And so I appreciate, first of all, being invited to the table. It's an interesting thing because I was watching news. I watch news all the time, and I saw you on news. This was just last week, and I said, you know,
anyways, as I said, I thought the value of us being in the room was tangible, and that's why I wanted to bring this and put myself through several fucking aneurysms and strokes to even get through it, but also so that you could see these motherfuckers in their it's one thing to read about it, but to see how they looking when they saying shit, see how they're gushing over this devil, and to really have it crystallize upon you that, wow, they really didn't talk about shit. It was clearly just a photo op. That's it. That's it. Every one of these motherfuckers is moist as a fucking, goddammit, wet wipe. Christianity is a poison upon our people. Because it takes the soul out of you and has you acting like this puppet ass bullshit. You don't have any humanity. You don't have it. You're an empty vessel. They're there for bragging rights. I went to the White House and met the devil. We need to start disassociating ourselves from these fucking people. If we can't change their hearts and minds, then goddamn, we have to evict their ass from our entire lives. Period. I'm not having shit to do with goddammit Christians. Not having shit to do with their ass. Not. Because that which you hang around, that you become. Period. It's time for a new day, everybody. When we think about revolution, liberation, and the freedom of our people, I tell you, if you want shit you never had before, you gotta do shit you never did before. This shit has always been a staple in our, and a presence in our fucking lives since the fucking dungeons of goddamn Ghana. It's time that we exercise this shit out of our fucking existence. Period. Don't go near it. don't hear it, don't have shit to do with it. And like I say, anybody you can't change their hearts and minds, evict their ass out of your fucking life. Vanquish them from your existence. Because they are a takedown and a drag on our wing. We can't have it. And damn it, in war, sometimes you have to leave the fucking casualties behind. You can't clear them from the battlefield. They're left out there for the buzzards. This is an embarrassment to African people everywhere. And decent people anywhere. I'm over it. Anyway, go and do your homework, everybody. Do your homework. Watch these 2 videos that I have in the description box down below. On the Donna Lemon piece, you only need to watch his segment. I don't even know what they go into in the rest of the video. I didn't watch it. I didn't need it. I only watched his fat ass. And as I say, Donna did a very good job of putting fire under his fucking fat ass cheeks. Kudos to Donna Ass Lemon. Kudos. And then you're also going to watch the other video of Akala. It's an hour something. But you must watch that. You must watch that. And then in your comments on this video, you're going to let me know if you intend to be part of the Skype live stream, if you're going to be in the actual room. Let me know that. Let me know that so that I can prepare for all of that. And we can make this something that is critical. A lot of people are talking about this subject anyway. And I think that it would be a unique presentation for us to be able to bring from this channel to have a full discussion going that really engages everybody. But we will also speak for those who aren't speaking. You understand what I'm saying? There's people that watch all the time, even just anything that you do. Like if I'm doing a video, there's people that hear me and they go, that's why they listen to me, because they go, that's right, Jedi. That's what I'm saying. You see? And so we will be those voices. We will be those voices. We'll be those voices. So you need to be serious. If you're going to do it, let me know. All right? And then I can begin to start making a group list, and I can get that set up in Skype, hopefully in advance, especially if you're somebody that I'm already connected with on Skype, etc., etc. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. This makes me sick, everybody. You know, because my tiered plan, you know, when I first came to YouTube, my first video out the gate was titled Black People, Slavery, and Christianity. I was not playing. That was 2014. I'm still saying the same shit in 2018 because the truth don't change, and I'm still the same dude. I understand the layers of liberation of a people. It's not something that just springs up. It's not an event that takes place. It is a pathology of movement and growth to an eventual fruition that becomes on its own. You can only provoke and work towards. And what I understand with that knowledge is that I have got to get at the hearts and minds and psyche of my people. I absolutely understood that from day one. Day one. I absolutely understood that you've got to hold up the movie screen and you got to show them what is the reality of it all. What's going on? Then you've got to turn the mirror on them and say, look, you're the problem, though. Here's what you're doing. But you, though. Here's you. Challenge. Force you to look within self. Force you to look within self. And then understanding that those who are sincere will make the change. And they will be ready to be soldiers for freedom. They are willing to take an honest look at our situation, our enemy, our environment, and our condition without opinion. And they get it. That's how you build an army. That is the building blocks of liberation. Do you understand me? You can't just throw, we came from Egypt and Hotep and fuck all that. Relevant, but not essential. It's only one of the blocks. Because inspiration comes from within. It must come from the individual. All the years I taught dance, it's the same principles. When you finally get that first 8 count out of a dancer, that's liberation and freedom. Because you standing there with your talents and abilities and know-how. Now, how do I put that in you? You see me dance and go, wow, you're killing it. And I turn to you and say, I'm going to teach you. First 4 counts. Do this. No, not that arm. No, your leg. And then it was my job to go inside of you and help you see you through me, through you. So it's not me telling you that hand is a disaster. Eventually you're going, that hand is a disaster. Damn it, it's here. It's not here, it's here. Urgh. That's the reward. Because you see now, it's coming from within. It's coming from within. First it was 8 counts, now we're up to 32 counts. Huh? The child is being born in front of my eyes. I see it. I see it. Now, I've gotten you through an entire routine and we're ready to go back and clean it. And you're checking your own self. That's freedom. That's liberation of the soul of an individual to unlock their own potential within themselves willingly through your guidance and influence. But it must come from the individual. Such is the case with liberation and freedom of a people. Over these years that I've been doing YouTube, I've been trying to give you the first 4 counts. I've been trying to help you to understand why that arm is in the wrong position. Not so you can storm out of the class, or tell me I'm asking the impossible, or I don't know what I'm talking about and you're wrong and everybody doesn't have to dance the way you dance. No. So that you can say, I get it. I get it. I get it. Because in that place, you will unlock your potential. You will shed fear because you have a clear vision now. Oh. And through that vision, you will understand what the requisites are now. Oh, shit, I see now. Damn, I'm going to have to change my entire life now. I'm going to have to do X, Y, and Z. I may have to give up my job so I can just work towards fucking liberation. Whatever. Damn it, I've been telling my kids the wrong thing. No more cartoons, damn it. I've been sending my kids to Sunday school. Nope, stay your bitch ass home. You're not going to that no more. Set your ass. I'm here as the vessel, the inspiration, and the spark, everybody. But I'm also here as a participant whose obsession, hear that word, whose obsession is our freedom. And that's gotta start with unlocking the hearts and the psyche of our people. When you see that dizzy ass bitch sitting up there on fucking pills, grinning and shit, right next to the fucking devil, I hope that I've done enough work that you're just as sick of that as me. That you could run to the bathroom and puke with disgust, frustration, sadness. Unlearn what you learned. Unlearn what you've learned. Reject everything that you've learned that you can now recognize as toxic for your entire existence. Reject it. You must be new. And you've got to challenge yourself in ways you've not challenged yourself before. You have to do that. You must. Because we ain't going nowhere alone. We can only get there together. That's a requisite. I'll see you soon.